Oh! Now we're there we go.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Well, it was
Look at
nice
you.
talking to
Look
you.
look at all the sunlight that you're basking in right now.
It looks really nice too. Hey,
It does. It's the only time you've ever been in a place that looks nice.
except for you know what? It's the light that is kind of hard to see at night. Well, in the evening, you know what I mean?
What?
Like that golden light.
the,
It's blinding.
the light that's kind of hard to see at night.
The evening.
Yeah.
You know that
Sick.
golden summer hue.
Yeah, that's nice. You don't like that?
It's hard to drive in.
Oh
It's hard to
God,
see.
you're such a goddamn crybaby.
You can't play sports.
You can't. What sports do you play?
Tennis,
Oh, that's right. I forgot you like tennis.
which is like baseball with rackets.
Yeah, sure. You could say that.
It's just like cricket.
There's only one thing you should do when you play tennis. You stand there and you wait for the ball to come to you, and then when it comes up to you, you fucking smash that thing as hard as you can.
Dude, you know what?
But
I
you gotta
do.
no, but like not straight at the person, like just like over their head. So
Into
like
the out and gone.
just gone.
I was actually trying to last time I played tennis. There was this guy with his kid there, and he wasn't good, but he was like running his kid through drills and was being super rude to his kid and like condescending and like wouldn't stop.
Right.
Like made the kid like was so tired he was just sitting there, and the dad kept being like, "Get up, get up."
Yeah.
And so I was trying to hit balls in their direction every once in a while.
There was definitely one time, I don't know if I told you the story, but one time some neighbors brought me to play tennis with them because I never played before, and they like played all the time.
Yeah.
What do you think I did?
Hit balls. You.
I
Joe
only went
Jackson.
one time, so you can guess what I did. They were just
All their
like,
balls were gone.
yeah, they were like, here, swing at it. So I was like, all right, what? Over the fence into oblivion.
Oh man. So you never won again?
No. Yeah, I was never
Oh.
invited.
But you enjoyed it.
I had a great time.
Dude, I played with people who hit balls like that. And it's just like when you actually want to play, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then
'Cause-
every time you get more mad, like you just hit it like higher and farther over the fence.
And you grew up playing baseball.
Yeah. So I was swinging
yeah.
for the fences, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I
Two-handed.
was going big.
Oh man.
I was trying to break the home run record.
So it's dark where you are.
It is dark because it's 9:08 p.m.
I don't know.
September 16th.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you feel like months have just gone by?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
crazy.
I think it's probably been months since we recorded a podcast, actually.
I don't know, a few weeks.
Hey, everyone listening to this, Brent had a great idea to not acknowledge the fact that we haven't recorded in like 10 months. He was
Hey,
like,
dude,
no one will
don't
notice.
make me don't
No
make
one
me
will
don't make
notice."
me read don't make me read these texts where you agree that it's a great idea
It sounded like a plan at first.
until I just mentioned months have gone by. I don't know any other way to segue into this.
It's been
so I'm
busy.
just gonna. Yeah, it's been busy.
It's been busy.
You were in court today.
Oh, I went to court today. I did. Yeah. I was furiously in court today.
Oh, so is that in Manhattan or is that like your?
Nah, it's in the town that I live in. So like as people might know, we moved out of the city a few years ago. My wife got pregnant with our first kid, and so it's still a commuter town. There's a lot of FDNY and NYPD and stuff here that all work in Manhattan and the Bronx and stuff like that. But we're just north of it now. So I'm still in the city all the time, but like. It's a small town, man. It's small town bullshit. What can I say? And I had to go in and deal with some small town bullshit today.
Wait. First off, did your pool?
There's
Was it or was it
so
not
much
haunted?
to this story. It's like I don't even know where you begin.
Yeah. Well, for anyone that's listened, we've talked about your haunted pool before,
Yeah, apparently my pool was haunted.
and then you figured it out.
Turns
was
out
a
it wasn't
leak.
haunted, but then it was again.
Yeah.
But then it turns
Wait,
out
what?
it wasn't also.
Which could be a ghost playing a clever trick on you.
It could be. There's still. I the jury's still out. Let's say that.
There's a jury.
Yeah, this is a
at
jury.
court today.
This is a ghost jury. So what happened was you have to get a certificate of occupancy for the pool.
Yeah.
So since I had this ghost in my pool, I couldn't get the CO because the pool was leaking constantly.
Yeah.
So I had to figure that out first before I could get the friggin' document saying everything was good to go.
Is that so?
Yeah, what?
What is that for? Is that so if somebody swims in it and dies?
Basically, yeah. So then it's like the town knows about it. Like if you put a pool in your backyard and someone dies in it, they're like, we didn't know about this. And I'm like, okay, but somebody's still dead, so what does it friggin' matter? You know? I got a lot of problems with this. You know why? Here's the thing. There are some people, so where we live, like there's parts that are rural, there's parts that are suburban, you know, there's all whatever. Some people have fucking pools in their front yard. Okay?
Ugly.
Very ugly. Now, here's the other thing. Some people have ponds. You get a CO for a pond? No. Can you drown in a pond? Yes.
I'd say I bet more people drowned in ponds than they drowned in swimming
Dude,
pools.
how many, oh man, I wish I had the stats in front of me. How many people have died in natural bodies of water in movies versus pools?
Only
right?
murders in pools.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I guess natural bodies of water have murders and natural and regular deaths, accidental, if you will.
I'm super disappointed because I've been waiting for about 2 days
Yeah.
to hear this.
Yeah.
And I'm now realizing that you were in court just to get a document.
I told you it wasn't a good story. You're like, oh my, what'd you think it was going to be?
I don't know.
You thought I
"Don't
murdered
tell
somebody
me."
in my pool?
I was like, save it for the podcast.
Yeah, you kept telling me that. I was like, it's not a good story. It's just not a good. But I will tell you this. So they send me this summons, right? Well, let me see. I have it here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show it to you because I don't need people.
Wait, they summons you to court?
Yeah, it says right here, criminal summons. A criminal summons. And you know what? Here, this is the thing. So where I live, they recently put in a power plant that pulls fracked gas from Pennsylvania, which is not
horrible.
The most friendly thing to the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone here hates it. But clearly, the company who came into this area to put it in, which as far as I know is they did it illegally, came in and lined the pockets of the townspeople around here to let it go by. I didn't see any of that money. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't be so angry about it.
Yeah. But everyone's got a price.
Yeah, exactly. So, I would have at least liked to find out what my price was. Is all I'm saying. So I got to do this stupid CO for the pool while I'm dealing with this garbage, and I'm just like, yo, how much does it take to keep you people quiet? Because obviously you're on the take. So we've had a little issues back and forth of me yelling at the town, telling them that they're crooked, and that they're running a little scam village or whatever, you know.
Which they are.
Yeah, of course they are, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not psyched to hear that. But I go in there and I'm ripping them apart left and right. This is going on for like a couple of years now, and I'm not happy. So I'm just like, I'm gonna do this when I'm ready to do this. When I get my pool fixed and everything's fine, it's fine. So apparently I wasn't done on their schedule. You know, I didn't eliminate the ghost from the pool fast enough for them. So they sent me this summons to appear in court to go over this. So I got all my inspection stuff. Everything's fine or whatever. Pool's not totally perfect, but what are you going to do? So I still had to go in there. And dude comes in. You ever go to court for like a traffic ticket or something?
No.
You never went to court for anything?
No, I just paid.
But you have to go there and you sit there with someone and they're like, oh, you're going to like, oh, you just straight up like you got a ticket and you paid in the mail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you ever go to court and you're going to like plead guilty or whatever, they go in there and they kind of like, it's again, another scam. they just like knock it down. They're like, instead of doing this, we'll do this, and you just have to pay this much money. So it's just all a scam. It's just a money making scam. So I go in there, and surprise, it's another scam. Well, first I argued. I was just like, how about I have the CO and you drop the summons so I don't have to go to court? And they're like, we can't do that. And I'm like, why? They were like, well, once we already make the summons, you can't go back on it. I was like, pretty sure you can. And my wife used to work in like a really high-powered law firm in Manhattan. So she was just like, yeah, no, you can definitely drop it. She's like, you ever hear the term like drop the charges? She was like,
yeah,
you can just drop the charges and then it's over. So I was like, yeah, what the fuck? So they didn't want to do that. And there's like 4 people that work in this building. And I talked to all 4 of them. They were like, well, you got to go to Marsha, and then you got to go to Ricky, and then you got to go to Joe, Bob, or whatever. And I'm just like, I went to all of them, and they all say they can't do it, and they put it on you. So I was...
Marsha.
Marsha. Fucking, what an asshole.
Fuck. Yeah.
The Marsha in this situation, by the way, is a huge asshole. So I walk in there, and she's sitting there with a friggin' dumb smirk on her face. And every time you have to go into this building department, she thinks that she's God. You know? Yeah. So I walked in there, I was like, listen, I don't believe in God.
You're in shit because I don't believe.
So I walk in there, and there's a guy with an ill-fitting suit who's like the town attorney, and then the code inspector and like his little buddy. And I'm just not happy. And the guy's like, okay. He's like, well, normally this would cost $200, but since you want to settle this, I'm going to bring it down to $150. And I was like, oh, is that what's going to happen? Like no one knew that was coming. You know, like he just like did me a favor. You know, like he was going to like fist pound me after that. Like, all right, bro.
Dude, don't you love that? How it's like, oh, this is a deal for you now.
Yeah, thanks for the deal. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So he's just like, are you able to pay this today? And I was like, yes. And he's like, okay, would you like to make... I was like, yes, fine. Just get this over with, you know? Mm-hmm. So I give him a check. I walk out. I don't look at any of them. I just turn around and walk out. Because I said to my wife, I was like, I'll call you if I need to be bailed out. And she was like, do not yell at them. Do not give them attitudes. Just don't do that. And I was like, all right, fine. So I turn my head away, and I just walk away, and I sit there. I got to wait for the stupid judge to come in. And then the friggin' town, like, 'cause everyone's there for like traffic tickets and whatever. This like the whole courtroom is full. And the prosecutor is late, and he's like, "Oh, everyone, it's my fault that we're late. It's not the judge." And I'm just like, dude, just shut up. I don't care. Just do what you got to do so we can start. All right, everybody's waiting. I'm starving. It's late. Yeah. Let's do this. You know. So then the judge calls me up, and he's sitting there, and he's like, is this true? Do you agree that you were pleading guilty? Blah, blah. And I'm like, in my head, I'm just yelling and screaming. I'm like, no, this is bullshit. No. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, like clenching my teeth. And then I just like turn around and I was like, all right. And then the guy who told me it was like $150, he's like, well, good luck to you, sir. And I'm like, for what? Good luck. What, are you going to follow me home? I'm like, good luck to you. You know? Like,
I'm going to swim in my fucking pool, all right?
I said, I'm going to fill it now.
You know what you should have done? Just gotten a bunch of dirt, filled your pool in, and been like, what pool? Come on, tell me where the pool is.
That's a good idea. My wife wanted to put in like this little outbuilding outside the house. And because I said to her, I was like, this is the last time we have to deal with these people. You know, because we did some other work, and you know, you got to get a permit for everything, and it's just like you got to pay this person, you got to pay that person. Again, it's like the friggin' Mafia, except not cool. And like I was like, "What was the last time we have to deal with anything?" She's like, "Oh, but what if we put like that little like, you know, outbuilding or whatever, like a little garden thing or something, you know, so she can like plant or whatever." And I'm like, "I'll just say it was here." So they come by, I was like, "Nah, it was always here."
Yeah, dude.
And the guy's like, he'll be like, "We have a survey saying it wasn't." I was like, "No, it was here." They must have missed it. It was here. We have photos. Now it was here.
Google Maps shows you like out there building it yourself.
Just like flipping off the camera up in the satellite camera.
Do you know what the good thing about the Mafia is though?
So many things.
We both know the rules. Like I know that I'm paying, and I know that it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But we both know the ground rules.
Absolutely.
They're fucking me.
Absolutely.
But when you pretend and you put, I was thinking about this the other day, like the fact
There's
that
no
I have to
facade
drive.
with the Mafia. It's just straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do I have to drive around with insurance? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, dude,
you
don't get me started on insurance. Don't even
why
get
do
me
I need
started.
home insurance?
Dude, listen to this. There's a medication I take, right, to keep my blood pressure down low. But days like today,
You didn't take it?
no. But it doesn't matter if I take it or not because my shit is like fucking 1,000 over 1,600, and
All that turkey and cheddar.
that's right. And I pay a lot for insurance because self-employed, I have to pay for the insurance, and I pay a lot because I have a family, and the amount that I pay, I still haven't reached the deductible for medication yet, and it's almost October. So I'm paying full price for all medication. And the deductible is not like, I don't need, like, for some reason, there's like this whole thing where it's just like you get some shit and it's like $1.99. And then I go in to get mine, it's $142.
Dude, it's kind of like you pay in insurance what I make a year.
Yeah, probably. Dude, it's like today I just felt like the man was screwing me left and right.
Yeah.
Between,
which makes me want to like get a van and live out of my van.
Yeah, tell me about it. Get that. Yeah, seriously, man. Get in that van, man. Go down by the river.
Yeah, and then they come down there and ticket you for being parked by the river.
You gotta go. Oh, Jesus, you gotta go to one of those places where people go off the grid.
Yeah.
Where it's like acceptable to go off the grid.
Which it's almost nowhere.
I mean, Alberta.
Yeah.
You basically are off the grid, I would say.
The whole our city. Dude, that one day I didn't realize I was talking to you and you're like, well, where you live is rural. And I was like, no, I live in a city. And you're like, no, you don't. I was like, comparing it to New York, I'm like, yeah, you know what? There's no cities in Alberta.
I love when people are just like, well, this is a city. It's like, well, technically it's called a city, but it's not a city.
Yeah. It's like a town.
Yeah. It's like it's a fishing village without water.
There's not, I think we might have just broke 100,000.
Wow.
people.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Maybe 97. I might be wrong.
The town has a celebration. We broke 97,000 people.
A big party.
Good job, eh?
97,000.
97,000.
Oh.
Wow. But one thing I wanted to bring up. Did you have anything to say before we move on? Because it was something I'm thinking about before we lose the sunlight.
No, I'm pretty disappointed with the court story.
Yeah, you should be. It was a very.
Thought you were getting sued, or you were suing a contractor, or
no. I don't have time for that shit.
Yeah.
No. Speaking of getting sued, I heard that Forever 21 was declaring bankruptcy.
Amazing.
Isn't that nice?
I don't know why. I feel so bad because every time I hear about a big Toys R Us closing down or something, I'm just like, good.
Well, I feel bad for all the people that work for the company because that sucks. But I don't feel bad for the company because they conduct shitty business practices, like stealing from people constantly.
So Forever 21.
They stole a bunch of my shit.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years ago.
Well.
And I was on the phone
with... still designing?
That's right. I'm still here, baby. I was on the phone with their attorney. And he was just like, basically was just like, well, we have a budget to pay off people like you. So they straight up have a budget to steal and then pay people off so they don't have to deal with the legal consequences.
It's like stores that account for how much theft is going to happen.
Yep. That's exactly like I think like Best Buy does that.
Yeah, where it's just like, all right, we know we're going to lose like $200,000 in theft a year.
Right.
That's horrible.
We'll write it off.
I love that. That just makes me angry. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, every time.
Why? It's not like it's not like they get away with anything. They're just like working that into their budget.
No, but the fact, like, if they spend that, they should get like they should not be allowed to claim that on taxes. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what they claim on taxes, so I'm not going to comment on that.
Probably nothing.
Maybe. But speaking of bloodsuckers, this reminded me. We had a conversation about zombies and vampires. I don't remember why. Where did that come from? We were talking about. So I remember we talked about 28-day zombies and 30-day vampires. But what was the point of that conversation?
I think it was like
what would you rather be chased by, right?
I think it started off as like a chase, and then you were like zombies will catch you, but I was like not like the slow zombies.
Yeah, no.
From
And then
like,
I said 28 days later zombies.
And
Fast as shit.
I mistook that for
30
as I
days
always
a
do,
night, right?
30 Days a Night,
Which is sick.
Yeah.
So now
that movie.
Do you live in 30 Days of Night territory? Like how much darkness are we talking where you live?
Not it'll get dark around like 7:38, I guess, and then it's bright again by 6. So it's not like that.
What about in the wintertime?
No, yeah, that's how it is here. My uncle lived in the Yukon. Yeah, my uncle lived in the Yukon where it was dark.
That's not right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's dark. It's not anything like
in New York, which
irregular.
is south from you, it gets dark at like 4:30 in the winter.
Oh no, maybe 5.
That's a big ass jump. I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then to 5.
Here's the thing.
You just cut out 3 hours out of your estimate, and there's only
I spent a
24
lot
hours
of
in a
time.
day. Look at that! Look at that sunlight! Look at the sunlight like fading. Are you about to turn into a vampire or something?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, it's not winter right now. Like, oh shit, I gotta go.
Oh my god.
No, but in the Yukon, that's how it is. Like days and days of night, right?
That
Obviously.
sucks.
Can you imagine?
No, I never could.
Horrible.
That would. I definitely get like bouts of seasonal depression as it is, and as I get older, it only gets worse because I hate the cold and I hate the snow. If I had to be in darkness and cold and snow, I don't think I would make it even a week without.
But here's the weird thing. I think we're probably very similar in this case, which is we both really like the night. Like I love walking in the night and things like that.
I like the night in summertime.
And like fall.
Yeah.
Spring.
Yeah. Spring.
Yeah. Winter's
yeah.
miserable.
Anything but winter.
Mm-hmm.
I like the nighttime when it's okay to be out at night and you can enjoy yourself and you're not just like freezing your ass off. You're like
in the winter, like if you tripped and hit your knee hard enough and you couldn't make it home. Yeah, it shatters and then you're gonna die out there.
Yeah. Oh, you'll die. You'll die quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's it get in New York?
Like how cold?
Yeah.
Well, I think like the normal used to be like 28 or 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what like almost like 0 Celsius or something. Right?
40 Fahrenheit?
No.
0.
I didn't. What?
Didn't you say 40 Fahrenheit?
I said 28 or 30 Fahrenheit. Are you doing calculations right now?
Yeah.
What do you got? Isn't like 0 Celsius like 32 or something like that?
It says 28. I don't think my thing's updating. It's not updating.
God.
We're fucked.
Oh my God. I have to, we got to figure this out. All right. Everyone that knows the difference. 0 Celsius to Fahrenheit. What are we at? 32. Yeah, I was right. God damn it. I'm always right.
0's not cold.
No, but that's like kind of like the normal cold of I think like the average winter temperature for New York.
Oh, okay.
The past few years, however, has been getting down to like shit, like just like straight up 0 Fahrenheit, which is like negative 18 Celsius.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, and it's just been like so. The past few years have been crazy. We keep getting like these so-called Arctic blasts. You get that term up there by you?
No,
nah,
we live in
that's
the
what they
Arctic.
call it now because they just keep coming up with new ways to be like, you fucked.
It's cold. Yeah.
You better. I hope you got
blast.
more than one jacket because you're gonna have to wear all of them. That's what we're talking. There's people.
Is that a saying?
So there's like people in Chicago that I'm friends with, and they would show me pictures because it would get really cold because they get like the lake effect, like snow and the lake effect breeze and all that shit. And people would literally just like take a glass of water and throw it out the window and it freeze in the air.
Okay, we can die here.
You do that by you?
I'm not impressed.
I don't know, man. You shit. That's scary to me.
Dude,
that's like a normal thing for you.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's a normal winter.
That really sucks. Like so much. Like it's cool that like the air is magic at that time, but like fuck that.
But also like you're in that same fucking air. Yeah, dude, I've gone for a few runs in the winter where it's like your chest just hurts because you're just breathing in ice, essentially.
That's because like everything inside of you is freezing while you're out there.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sucks. You're not supposed to run in that, you asshole.
I don't want winter. I don't like
No.
winter.
No.
I would settle for the rest of my life being trapped in fall and spring.
I'd be
and
happy
never
with
having
that.
summer. To never have winter.
Spring and fall for the rest of your life and no winter, but also no summer.
Where on earth can I get that?
I think that might exist somewhere.
Yeah, it's got it, right?
Yeah. Sure.
You know what? Vancouver never snows.
I was gonna say maybe like a place like Vancouver, right? Because
Yeah.
I was gonna like Seattle. I don't know if Seattle gets hot. Does Seattle get hot?
I think it gets humid because it's on the ocean.
Yeah,
I guess.
but I don't know
You'd
if
probably
it gets
love
like hot. Yeah, I would love that. I've been to
Yeah.
Seattle. Seattle's cool. I like Seattle.
You know where I don't like?
What's that?
I'm gonna put it out there right
Portland.
now. No, I never.
We're talking
Montana?
Seattle. Montana. Okay, well, all right, whatever.
And Boston. I've never been to Boston. Don't want to go to Boston.
That's all right. I'm cool with that. I'm from New York.
All right.
I'm not allowed to like Boston.
But do you kind of?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a cool
Or
city.
we'll cut that out.
Yeah, no, it's a
cut
cool
that
city.
one out.
It's all right. I mean, like when I'm there, I'm gonna tell them that it sucks, but it's nice. I like Boston.
Like the people.
Yeah, take them or leave them, whatever.
Dude, I want to tell you this very controversial joke that is so smart.
I'm gonna.
But
go
also
ahead
it's
and say
very-
it's probably neither.
Controversial or smart?
Yeah, it's probably just really
No,
dumb.
it is. I heard Ricky Gervais talking about it.
How controversial are we talking here? Is like the end of the Nose podcast controversial, or what? What are we talking?
No, it's you know what? It's probably not controversial. It is. All right, I'm just gonna tell it.
Oh,
and
God. All right, go ahead. If you ruin me, man, I know where you live.
okay, so this guy dies. He gets to the pearly gates, right?
Uh-huh.
God's like, why should we let you in?
Yeah.
The guy says, well, I'm really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And God goes, all right, tell me a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy tells him a Holocaust joke.
Mm-hmm.
God says, I don't find that funny.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy goes, maybe you would have had to been there.
Oh God.
And it's so smart, dude. It's so like one of those simple jokes, but it's
kind of deep, I guess. Like
it's
saying
very
that it was
layered.
like God wasn't present in that because it was like such a evil thing that happened.
And I'm thinking about the meme that I sent you the other day. It is too controversial.
I like that for like the onion peel, but I don't really find it funny. But
It's not funny, I don't think.
yeah, like as a statement, I think it's actually kind of powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 It's
As a
guess
joke, it
it's-
sucks.
yeah. It's using that shitty joke format.
Yeah,
that kind of seems like it'd be too simple, but so simple and
Well, that's like one of those things when you go to see a comedian, but all they do is just like complain about their lives, but like in a really sad, depressing way. And you're like, dude, are you okay?
sometimes not.
It's like, I thought this was supposed to be funny.
Dude, isn't that weird thinking that like some of the best comedians in the world are also the most depressed?
I feel like
dark?
most of them are.
Yeah, that kind of hurts.
Yeah,
You know?
well, because that's how they deal with their pain,
Is to make it
to make light
cocaine.
of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like you.
dark. Yeah.
Have you seen that show Glow on Netflix?
You've told me about it, and I've meant to watch it a few times just because I like Mark Maron.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
First season was great. Second season is really good too, but the second season is exactly what we're talking about. Like the first season was like kind of fun. You know, it was like this women's wrestling television show, and they deal with a lot of bullshit, whatever. But in the end, it's still kind of funny and fun the whole time. It's still lighthearted, even in the darkest parts. You know, second season is heavy, like way heavy.
That's
And
a
it's-
Netflix original?
Yeah, and it's still really good, but it wasn't like I kind of was watching it for lightness to like just like really enjoy it. But there's like, you know, like sometimes you want to watch something and just like forget about how shitty the world is.
Yeah.
But like this one is just like I start watching, I was like, what could be so bad? And then it's just like so much just like hits you like a friggin' freight train, and I'm like, oh God. It's like just I gotta watch. Like here's another example. Did you ever watch Rocko's Modern Life as a kid?
I want to say yes because I remember the title sequence,
Uh-huh.
but I don't exactly remember.
Well,
It's on Netflix now.
Yeah, Netflix has one, and the same type of thing. Like I watched it with my daughter because I thought she would like it, and they like hit like a lot of like cultural touch points, which I think are great because I got to I explained some stuff to my daughter that she'd never heard of before. But at the same time, I'm just like, shh, like this is
You put on a cartoon.
yeah, it's like it's too much work. I wasn't prepared to explain what all these things were to a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes just like, what could I watch? That's why I end up watching the same 3 shows over and over again.
But I mean, the shows you watch are kind of depressing in a sense.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I don't find them depressing. Like
I do.
They're pretty dark, but they're so familiar at this point, and there's so much that I pull from them that I enjoy. But also, I've seen them so many times, I can kind of go into coast mode. Where it's not like I'm not watching them. I'm just like, oh my god, like oh man, that guy died. Like oh, he's got kids and blah blah blah. Like every time I see it, I'm like, man, that's really sad. But like it doesn't stick with me like some of these other things where after we're done watching it, I'm just like sitting. I'm like, god damn, that's a friggin' bummer.
You're numb to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get depressed when a show is over and that world is over for you?
Definitely, big time.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah.
We finished the Sopranos over the summer, and when it because it's so funny because we watch them in such specific order. Like Boardwalk Empire always starts at the end of summer and goes into like the end of the holiday season, and then we start Mad Men at the beginning of the year, and then by the time Mad Men is done, it's like springtime, and we're like mid to late spring. We start the Sopranos, and we watch the Sopranos all through the summer. So like I have these associations with times of the year with these television shows. So I'll watch The Sopranos and it just feels like summer when I watch The Sopranos. So it feels great.
How many people think we're insane? Because I definitely do. Like I'll have, and I know you do as well, I have albums that I'm like, all right, I got to listen to this whole album from start to finish for like the next week.
Yeah, right, right.
TV shows like that.
Mm-hmm.
One that I just started watching. I don't know if you've seen Barry.
No, I didn't see that yet. Is it actually good?
You know what? The first like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Like it's good. I'm only like 6 episodes in now, and I'm like, this is maybe the best show I've ever seen.
Is it
It's
really?
not the best show. It's really good.
It looked pretty good, but I just haven't given it a chance yet.
It's really interesting.
Really?
Yeah, it's more interesting than I would have guessed.
I'll give it a shot.
Kind of depressing.
And
Kind of
depressing?
depressing. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I bring this up every time too. Are you gonna watch Jim and Andy?
No. I want to watch it, but I think it's gonna put a friggin' knife in my heart. It's like kind of messed up, isn't it? Isn't it like really heavy?
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah,
like
okay.
I got a buddy to watch it, and I told him they got to watch it 3 times.
Yeah,
like you pick up on something every
3 times.
I was like,
oh shit.
Dude, we were talking about like, have you seen Shutter Island?
Yes.
Okay, dude, if you watch Shutter Island the second time, it's like watching a new movie
because
you see all like
you know what to look for after that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost like if you had watched it the first time and paid closer attention,
right,
you would have known the entire time.
Right. Oh,
I love those.
Dude, speaking of knowing the whole time, did you see the movie Us? It came out a couple months ago.
Us.
With it was a Jordan Peele movie. He did Get Out before that.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yo,
this is his
It's good. It's good.
Horror?
But it's one of those. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's one of those where I think you figure out the twist right away, but the ride to get to the twist, it like goes right to the very end. Even though you know what the twist is going to be, like maybe right at the beginning, it really pulls you all the way to the end until the very end, and you're just like, the twist the whole time, and then at the end is just like a little thing that happens, and you're just like double confirms it.
Specifically, this trailer kind of scared me. Actually,
it's good.
Really uncomfortable.
Yo, those 2 movies are fantastic. 5 dinosaurs, both of them, across the board.
Yeah. No, Us was like really uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was
Super
and
uncomfortable.
it was just like it was shot really well, and
Oh,
like
that
the
story.
colors
Get
and
out.
everything is so good. Like um there's a shot where the woman, like the main character, the mom, is like sitting in a room, and just the way every color works is I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, this movie's a lot of fun, but like the color is perfect. It's like a painting.
Dude, I love that
Yeah.
specifically.
Yep.
Like, I've heard that the new Spider-Man, that animated Spider-Man movie is kind of like that. Like,
Yeah.
any
Right.
place where you pause it, it's like a painting.
Yeah. Right. Did you ever see the movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez?
No,
Oh my God. So okay.
you've talked about this.
Yeah,
Haven't
not a great movie, but the art direction is ridiculous. And
Yeah.
there was like some technology things like from at its time, it was like more advanced, but like from an art direction perspective, just unreal, like really beautiful the whole way through.
Dude, I'm obsessed with like watching behind the scenes for how those movies are produced and things like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one in my entire life actually.
Behind the scenes,
Like how the making of a movie like that. Yeah, I don't think so.
like another movie that like I can't stop watching, not because it's even that good, but like Place Beyond the Pines
I haven't seen it.
with Ryan Gosling.
Oh, god damn.
Dude, it's beautiful, man.
Whatever.
No, it's beautiful. They do this one shot where it's like him riding his motorbike through the woods.
Oh yeah, you like that. You just like
This aerial?
and his hair is probably blowing in the wind. You're like, oh, I love him.
No, but dude, later on, like you're never gonna watch it.
No, your obsession with Ryan Gosling is just I can't. I just no fake accent.
Dude, later on, his kid is riding his bike down the street. Like I'm talking
it's
like
the same
half an hour
shot.
later in the movie. It's the same shot, but it's just so beautiful, and it's just like you realize like they do a lot of those throughout the whole thing, where it's like you're looking at the
mirrored or
exact
whatever.
same.
Yeah,
But you wouldn't notice because they don't put them next to each other.
yeah.
you know?
So they're lazy, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
They just. The guy, they did a whole storyboard, and then on the way there, the guy like tripped and fell into a puddle, and he was like, "Wait," he like lost half the movie, so he's like, "Wait, hold on, here we're just gonna keep replicating shots over and over again. It'll be poetic, I swear."
Do you think that's like that's what Quentin Tarantino did, and it worked for him? So now he just keeps.
Dude, all the best things always happen by mistake, and it's just like,
Yeah.
what do I have? Whatever I got to do to fix this, and then people are like, "Oh, you did this on purpose," and you're like, "Yeah, sure."
He wrote like a piece of shit movie and just threw it at the ceiling fan.
even like Pulp Fiction like had nothing to do with it. He just had like an orange juice container fell down.
So like pulp.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is how things work, man. It's so funny though. I tell my daughter that all the time. Like when she makes mistakes, I always say, don't erase your mistakes. I just say, just fix them. So figure out how to fix them.
That's a really important, super important rule.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so.
I know you're probably at a point now where like
I've
you've
literally
embraced
built a
it.
career on mistakes.
Yes. But dude, like some of my favorite things that I've designed recently in like the past year and a half
Yeah.
are like things that I kind of just did. And then I was taking them out and you're like, hey, you should keep that.
Yeah.
And I kept it and it's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's the
And it's like,
personality. It's the shit that happens by accident.
Yeah.
It's the magic. That's
I was doing a mural.
Yeah, dude, that is the thing. Yo, that is what happens, man. Especially like when you get into like some of these rebrands and stuff like that, and you see like, people do all the stupid lines and geometric this and that to show how perfectly formed the logo. Like, not for me. Like the
I
magic.
see that and I hate it.
It's stupid. Like it doesn't make sense to do that today.
No.
If your logo's a circle and you pull out a circle in Illustrator, you didn't need a ruler to do that. You just hit L on your keyboard. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to draw the lines to show everybody that the circle is even around the whole way. Like that it's not, you might think that this is a slight oval, but it's actually a perfect circle. Like you don't have to do that. I believe you.
Dude, the minute I see like process things like that,
Yeah.
where somebody does that, I'm
Garbage.
just like, nope. Next.
I've actually thrown whole computers in the garbage looking at shit like that.
To the point where like I used to want to be able to draw perfect circles.
Yeah.
And then you were like, you don't. You just kind of draw the circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no
And
point.
now I've started doing that.
Yeah.
And now you can scale it with Procreate
Sure.
and things like that. But I don't know how to do it perfect.
You don't have to, man. Life isn't perfect. Yeah. The second that you realize that life isn't perfect, it makes it a lot more enjoyable for you. You know, you can just be and appreciate what is.
Do you think it's weird that we, like, if we wanted to get money for like an app, we'd have to build a prototype, and things like that. And occasionally, you know, we got to show concepts and things like that. But is it weird that we're selling like ideas, and people, like, a lot of the time, like, clients come to me and I like will sell them the first thing that I do, no concepts, and it's kind of weird that I'm selling an idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
like,
they don't have an
tangible
idea, and they're looking for an idea, and you are the person that has them.
So
allegedly.
Weird. Yeah. Most of the time it feels like, I hope they'd be, man, if they could be in my head.
There may or may not be ideas in there, or there may or may not be places where you may have left people and trails to them so that you know how to cover it up just in case anyone stumbles upon it in the time. Yo, speaking of which, I saw an article that I think said Mount Everest is melting, and all they're finding on Mount Everest is like garbage and bodies.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just like bodies that have, like, people died and just got covered in snow. And they're like, oh, look at all these bodies.
That's dark, hey?
Yeah, that's
like all the people that just didn't make it to the top.
Didn't make it. Yeah. But global warming is shining a light.
You know, the scary thing is, like, that's gonna, like, apparently it's gonna melt the ice where there's like the Spanish flu, things like that. A bunch of stuff we don't have vaccines for.
Get out of here.
All these diseases and stuff.
You know, now that you mention it, that does sound familiar.
Yeah, isn't it? Like, that's gonna happen.
That's amazing. Ah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't have much time left. So,
I mean, they got the plague in Montana.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Montana's had the plague coming for years now. They've been just skating by. Just made it.
Time's up.
Surprise, here's Johnny. That's a meme for you right there. It's just like The Shining, you know.
It's like Montana.
Yeah. And Jack Nicholson is the plague.
Yeah,
God,
that's a perfect meme.
That's really shit. That's the first one I ever made. I feel proud of that.
That's a really good meme.
I know it is.
You got to make it and put it out before this podcast.
Oh shit, you're right. I should. Oh God, someone's gonna do it now, and that's the end of that.
No, you will, but
copyright 2019, John Catino.
You're gonna get ridiculed for it, though. Like, you're making fun of people dying from the plague.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Whatever.
I mean, I don't have it.
Nah, I'm good. I think I'm all right.
I'm really close
I think I'm
to
okay.
it.
I don't know. Yeah, you
guys got a lot of rats. It's coming from rats, I believe.
It always does, man.
That's true. And like birds, right?
It does. Yeah. But I don't know if you've noticed artwork that I've done. But rats are a friend of mine. So they know better than to give me the plague.
Do you have rats where you are right now?
Like right this second?
No, like I know that you have mice in your pool.
Yeah, no, there's mice. There's mice around here for sure.
Not a lot of rats?
No, I don't think so.
Stick to the city, eh?
Yeah. When I was a kid, we had rats in our house. And my dad used to fall asleep on the couch sometimes, like after everyone was in bed and he was like watching TV. My dad would fall asleep on the couch and he would kind of like drape his hand down like on the floor because the couch was like kind of low, and he would just kind of like rub his hand like on, like you would do, like just whatever. Yeah. And where he would stick his hand was actually where there was a rat's nest, and he never knew. And he like when we figured out that there were rats in the house, we didn't know what the hell was going on. And there was another time too in this whole same thing where I was I don't know, I must have been like maybe 8 or 9 or so. Mm-hmm. And my mom had my younger brother, and she was waiting for me to get home from school or something like that. And the bread drawer started opening by itself because there was a gigantic fucking rat inside eating all the bread.
Have you seen Ratatouille?
Yes. Not like that rat. No, like a nasty, like friggin' sewer rat.
Yeah.
Like one that like maybe has like a bandana and like a eye patch.
When I was in New York, I didn't see
chain.
a single rat. I never seen a single rat. Never seen a single cockroach.
Good for you.
I've seen a lot of dead birds.
Yeah.
A lot of garbage.
Yeah.
A lot of drug addicts.
Yeah. So you don't have drug addicts where you live? Please.
Oh, we got a lot.
I'm sure everyone is a drug addict where you live. Like, I've seen it. I would be a drug addict too.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's bad here. It's bad where I am.
My old apartment, we never had cockroaches. We would have like the little baby cockroaches that would just like crawl around, and I would flush them down the toilet.
You'd pick them up, flush them down the toilet?
I wouldn't pick them up. I would like, I don't know. I remember what I did. I didn't want to touch them though, because God knows what the hell was on them. Like maybe like paper towel or something like that, or like toilet paper, and flush them down the toilet. But then they started doing work on the street at the end of my block, and all the cockroaches and the rats would come up because all the jackhammering and stuff would disturb the underground layers of them. You know. And then these other people moved in upstairs, and then it was a free-for-all. There's cockroaches everywhere, like big motherfuckers, like this. And they would just be like running across the floor. And there was one time I turned off all the lights, and we go to get in bed, and our bedroom was right next to the kitchen. And I saw something big run across the floor. I thought it was a mouse or a rat or something. I went to go look for it. It was a cockroach.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it was a cockroach. And like a couple nights later, my wife is cooking dinner. And I'm in the other room, John! And I'm like, what? I go running inside. She's like, oh my God. It's a cockroach flying across the kitchen. Like, I didn't know that they flew, but they glide. There's like these glider ones, these like big mama cockroaches. Yeah, they fly. And I couldn't kill it. So I had to beat it to death because it was so big, I actually had to beat it to death like a human being. Like I had to murder it.
You're wearing like a wife beater.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it was awful. It was awful. We moved shortly after that.
Have you seen Joe's Apartment?
Yes.
Was it like that?
It was, but worse. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Little known fact: there's local New York hardcore legends Madball have a song in Joe's Apartment, which stunned me as a kid because it's an MTV movie.
MTV doesn't
play hardcore. No, that's like especially then in like the 90s. That was very underground.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing you would see is like maybe like one or two of the massive hardcore bands that would have like a video that they would play at 2:00 in the morning.
Dude, I remember on TV seeing this band play on MTV, and I was too young to like know how. Like it was like pre like you could just go on the internet and Google.
Right.
And I remember seeing a band, missing who it was.
Yeah.
And just for like to this day being like devastated that I don't know what the band was.
There is a band that. Okay, so when I was in my first real band. I want to say like 1997 to 1999-ish. Mm-hmm. I used to book shows also. And there was a band from New Jersey called December that sent me a burned CD of their stuff. And it was really good. And I loved it. I was like, and they were like, oh, we would love if you could book us in New York. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, as soon as there's a show that I can get you guys on, I'll, give you a call, whatever, we'll set it up. Cut to a few years later, early 2000s, I'm watching Headbangers Ball or something like that on MTV at like 2:00 in the morning, and there's this other band called December that was playing, and they were also really good. And I remembered the video exactly because the guy had something set up on his drums almost like how I did, and I was like, oh, it's really sick. I like how he does that. And I went in, I was in college at the time, and I go in, and my friend Matt, who I used to do CXXVI with, I'm like, yo, you ever hear this band? He's like, no, I never heard him. Couldn't find it because it just didn't exist on the internet at that time.
Yeah.
And because of the fact that there were multiple bands named December, so not just these two bands, but other bands too, whatever I could find was not the right one. Literally, like 3 days ago, I found the video on YouTube.
Man.
Yeah.
So you guys should start searching.
Like almost 20 years to find it. Like, that's crazy.
Wait, so you've been kind of looking it up for 20 years?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
And no one knew who I was talking about.
Wait, you got to share that.
Like, yeah, I will. I mean, it's nothing special. It's fine, but it's just like it was. It's just like a metal hardcore band or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, you hear something once and you're like, oh, that's sick, and I was like, I want to hear it again. Then never played the video again.
In a weird way, I kind of miss it. Like, because it felt more special when you found something that you love.
Yeah.
Now it's like, who cares?
I was getting tattooed the other day, and me and the tattoo artist were talking about that, about how, like, because I was saying I kind of feel bad for my daughter that she's never going to be able to experience that level of discovery. You know, like when I was a kid, when I found hardcore, and then when I went to a show, there was no way to know where to go unless someone told you where to go.
You had to seek it out.
Yeah. And then when you went to a show, people would give you flyers, and it's like romantic to talk about it. But then when you actually think about what it is, like people just straight up giving you flyers, like saying like, "Hey, you like this? You want to see more of this? Come to this place at this time, and you can see more." There's no rules. There's no security. There's no nothing. It's just like, you want to go, show up here. Like, it could have just been a slaughterhouse. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. You just like, you become obsessed with something, and then you want to go find it, and you just start becoming part of this underground reality that most people that you walk by. Like, it's so funny when I listen to Axe to Grind, that hardcore podcast I talk about all the time. They call people not into hardcore civilians, which I think is the best description ever.
It's funny that it's like a military.
Yeah, because you're part of this like this like culture. It's a subculture. It's like this whole, it's got that whole thing where it's like you're part of, like, you make your own rules. You all abide by the same rules. There are certain unspoken laws that everyone has to follow if they want to maintain part of that community. Yeah. But I always like that.
Very elitist.
No, it's not elitist because anyone's welcome. But if you want to still be part of it, you have to follow those rules. Like, fucking society is the same way. That's what laws are for.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah, well, we both hate laws.
I just spent the whole first 20 minutes complaining about them.
Fuck laws. So guess what? My friends, they make the rules.
It's so cool when you make laws. When I got home, my daughter was like, "Daddy, why'd you have to go to court?" And I told her, and I was like, "Whatever, it's a scam." She's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "They just wanted my money." And I started explaining it to her. She's like, "But you wouldn't do that, right?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. I would never scam anyone." So, and then I'm like thinking about it. I was like, if I could make the rules and just like start taking people for their money, would I do it? It's like, I could
100%.
I could make a lot of money.
Here's the thing. At some point you would. You might not do it for...
Would you be a crooked judge?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, because I want to see certain criminals get by.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. You don't... You expect chaos.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Wouldn't you?
Dude, the funniest thing, we were on vacation at the beach earlier this summer.
Vacation for 3 days.
Yeah, it was 2 days. It was like 2.5 days, I think. That's my vacation. But like, we met this couple, and both of them work for the government in one way or another. And me and the guy were having like a really interesting conversation about like politics and stuff like that. And he's like, "Well, I don't agree with this and I don't agree with that," and blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Yeah, I got you. Yeah, well, like we were finding common ground and stuff." And I was like asking him about it, and he's just like, well, I consider myself an anarchist. And I was like, an anarchist? Really? And he was like 40-something, you know? And I was like, a 40-something-year-old anarchist. Good for you.
Wait, he works for the system.
Yeah. And he's like, I just want to watch the world burn. And I was like, cool. Works for me.
Definitely, like, it is weird. Like us talking about how we like that Forever 21 is going down.
Yeah.
This is kind of off topic, and then also just jumping back topic, which is like, you know, discovering hardcore and things like that.
Right.
Think about how frustrating it is to sit watching Netflix trying to find something to watch.
Oh, God. I mean,
but then,
yeah, it's different.
How great was it going to Blockbuster or something like that?
But to
pick out a movie.
It's a much different experience.
It is.
It's
something that is gone forever.
But like Blockbuster was a thing to do. Like you could have went to Blockbuster to pick out a movie, and the thing that you spent the night doing was going to Blockbuster, not watching the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's the same for any record stores. We used to go to record store like Tower Records. Did you guys have Tower Records?
No.
Okay, so Tower.
Yeah.
What'd you have?
HMB.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That sounds horrible. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was like Tower Records.
Yeah. So Tower Records would close like midnight, something like that. So sometimes when we were bored, we were like, let's just go to Tower Records. And we would go there, and it's a massive store. But they would also have imported CDs. They would have local. They would have all this stuff. They had magazine rooms, like weird, like video DVDs, blah, blah, blah. Like they had everything. And you would go in there, and it's just like didn't matter who was working there. The people that were in there, there was always something to do when Tower Records was still around. And you would just go and you would just look at shit. Sometimes you would walk out with a couple CDs or something, and then you spend the rest of the night hanging out listening to them.
But now I feel weird if I go into a place and I don't spend money and I'm not quick.
Yeah, like just browsing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 Like everyone's got to ask you if you need help.
Yeah, I'm like, leave me alone.
I'm looking.
I don't need help. Do I look like I need help to you? It's so far. I was in Home Depot today. Was it today? Shit, this has been a long day. Yeah, I was in today, and I was just looking for like garbage bags or something, and they weren't where they were supposed to be. So I'm walking by, and I'm like looking around. The guy's like, "You need help?" I was like, "Yeah, where are the garbage bags?" And he's like, "They're right over there." I was like, "Thank you." And I was like, "I'm glad that guy was here."
But if you knew where those garbage bags were and he asked you that,
I'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my face."
I know what I'm here for.
Don't talk to me.
I'm here for garbage bags.
You're insulting
what are you gonna help me
asshole.
With? Yeah. Dude, I kind of like going to like Home Depot, places like that.
I like it when I'm not. It sucks when you go to Home Depot and you come back and you're like, oh, I forgot this, and then you have to go back.
On every reno that we've ever done.
Yeah.
Is like 6 times in one day.
All the time. Where you're just like, I thought I had this, and you go like open up a toolbox and you're like, not there. Thought I had it.
Or like it's a screw and it's half an inch too short.
Yep.
Or
Yep.
That's so frustrating.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, I had a night like that when I had to do shit to get my stupid CO for the pool.
Wait, you had to do it all?
Yeah, I had to do a bunch of shit for it, but I'm not going to get into that now.
So you put the pool in?
No, I didn't put the pool in. We put the fence up and shit and the locks and all that stuff. I put it. The whole thing is like you're supposed to have these locks that you like pull up, like safety locks. Mm-hmm. So the guy. This was one of the main problems. So I had latched gates with actual padlocks on them. So
no one could get in.
No one could get in unless they had a key, right?
Or they hopped the fence.
Yeah, or they hop the fence. But the rule is that you have to have like these little pull top locks that are like 50 inches off the ground, so kids can't reach them. I had kids over my house, but my daughters and my wife's cousins' kids went in the pool when all this stuff was going on. Not only could they open the top locks, but they were playing with them. The ones with the padlocks, no one could get in. So I was like, hey, here's a perfect example of why what you're telling me to do is fucking bullshit. And I'm like, kids went in and out, no problem. I said, but the padlock ones, they couldn't get in. And the adults couldn't get into the padlock ones either.
Yo, that's the problem with rules and regulations, right? is you make rules and regulations and people don't try to exceed them and do better.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
you just do what is expected, even if it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bunch of people skimming the top and doing average jobs.
Bunch of losers. They're all losers.
My smoke detectors just went in my house.
Yeah.
And so I changed them all. And I couldn't, like, for some reason, I had to factory reset them all. That was the trick.
Yeah.
But they just wouldn't stop going off.
That sucks.
Like every minute it would, like, beep.
Yeah.
And finally I just unplugged them all while I was looking at, like, but I was like,
it's fine.
Dude, if my house lit on fire.
I mean, what's it going to do anyway? You're going to feel the flames, right? You don't need a detector to tell you when your house is on fire.
No, but I don't think insurance would cover it because my smoke detectors were faulty or like weren't plugged in. You know what I mean?
Well, then after the house burns down, you run in real quick and you plug them in.
But it's like the smoke detectors wouldn't have prevented this fire.
No, of course
most likely.
Not. Of course not.
Would have just warned me to get out of my house.
It's just trying to save your life. That's all it's doing.
I'll save my own life, right?
I don't need
smoke
you.
detectors.
It's the same thing. It's the Home Depot thing. It's like, excuse me, I got this. Thank you.
They really only go off when you're cooking something.
Right. Yeah.
And
right.
You're pissed off.
Dude, here's one. Check this out. I went to when my brother got married last year, and we were in. So we had like our room in the hotel had like this really weird like L shape. So the shower was all the way near the front door and also by the smoke detector. So figure this out. So I took a shower with hot water. I opened up the door and the steam went and set off the smoke detector.
Yeah.
I didn't know that steam did that.
Me neither.
So this guy, the hotel manager comes up with the maintenance guy and somebody else, and they knock on the door, and I open up the door, and he's like, yeah, is everything okay? It's like, yeah, everything's fine, the smoke detector, blah, blah, blah. He goes, you vaping in here? I go, am I what? He goes, you vaping? And I was like, I'm not vaping. He was like, yeah, right. And I'm like, I'm not fucking vaping, asshole. Dude, I was
angry.
I was so mad. I was like, get out. Can you please get out? Get the fuck out. Just get out. Like, am I vaping? Yeah, I'm just sitting there under the smoke detector, vaping and blowing the smoke up to it.
Dude, you know what I'm going on some tangents here, but people who love to vape and are like, it's good for you.
Yeah.
New lung disease.
It's really, isn't it like really bad for you?
People are now dying of like this new lung disease.
There you go.
Specifically from vaping.
That's it.
And I just want to be like,
yep, Planet of the Vapes coming to kill you.
Planet of the Vapes. Why did you think breathing something into your lungs that wasn't oxygen is healthy?
Dude, even when you're trying to run in the winter, breathing is not good. You should just not be breathing.
Yeah, you should only oxygen.
Yeah.
If it's cold, don't do it.
Stop inhaling anything.
Oxygen is killing you. Are you vaping? Man,
dude, I got so mad at that. I was like, do I look like I'm vaping to you? I have a 5-year-old and a pregnant wife right here, but this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here. Like maybe if I was living in the hotel, that would be a different story. Yeah. And just like blow the smoke in my wife's face and then the rest in my daughter's face, You're
just emptying suitcases in front of them. Where the fuck's the vape?
Yeah.
Show me where the vape is.
It's just like breaking shit left and right.
Is it in here? Man, that's I just recently found out too that steam sets off certain fire alarms, which is super weird.
I never heard that before. I mean, I've lived through fire alarms and I've lived through hot showers, and none of them had anything to do with steam.
You know what broke my mind the other day?
Yeah.
Your friend Brian shared this with us.
Yeah, what's that?
Stoves where you keep your pots and pans underneath.
Oh, yeah.
A little drawer.
Yes.
Is for keeping stuff warm. It's not for keeping your pots and pans.
I still don't believe that.
It's 100% true.
I don't believe it. I think that's one of those Berenstein Bear things where it's just like the internet just decided that's what it's going to be. And it's just like, guess what? It was always like that. And you're like, no, it wasn't.
I swear it was.
It wasn't.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. That definitely blew my mind, though. I never heard of that before.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, what can I keep warm down there?
I don't know. You could like put your feet in it when it's cold out.
standing in the bottom thing while I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a gas stove?
Why?
Well, I guess that's not.
It's a fucking weird
I just want to get a
question.
gas stove.
Yeah, I got a gas stove.
Oh, I'd like to get a gas stove,
What do
but
you
I
have,
don't want to pay
electric?
thousands of dollars.
You got
Yeah,
electric?
I don't want to run a line.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my
probably
line
not
was
worth
already in, so I didn't.
So when you moved in, your kitchen was already like set up for gas stove and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I had a kitchen when I moved in. I probably wouldn't have bought the house if there wasn't a kitchen in it.
When you bought it, though, it had already been converted from school to
Yes,
a house.
it was already
Okay.
converted and then renovated once. And then
Oh,
I
nice.
came in, then I renovated everything again.
You're just finishing up.
Kinda. We're finishing up the kitchen now, but
Yeah.
there's still more things to do.
Your backsplash was $100,000,
I think it was $400,000 actually.
400,000.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And what happened was I went to the marble store and I was like, I want that. And then they
Sounds
told
like you
me
went to the Apple store,
Yeah.
but the marble store.
They told me how much it was, and I just took all the cash because I had it on me. I just threw it in their face, and I was like, "Here, keep whatever's left." And then I took the marble with me and I put it in the kitchen.
It's just one giant piece.
Yeah, it is. It's one big slab of marble.
So who cut that?
I don't know. Probably someone who shouldn't be breathing in the shit that comes off of it.
But can you imagine if it had cracked while they were cutting it?
Yeah, then they'd have to do it again.
Fuck.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yo, it took like 10 guys to bring it into my house. That shit is heavy.
Yeah.
You don't realize how heavy some of that stone is.
Dude.
And we have our countertop and the island is marble too, and it's got an overhang. And one of the first days I was like doing something underneath it and stood up and didn't realize where I was and hit my head lightly on it, dropped like a sack of bricks.
So frustrating,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, I just dropped. Like, I've been hit by like 300-pound guys and barely budged. Like, with full force. Hit my head on this thing, sack of potatoes right on the floor.
Yeah, but that's like hundreds of pounds just standing straight up.
Yeah.
Into like
poof. Like I just I hit like the top of the universe. You know?
So those guys were moving that in, or are you like, how'd they build the pyramids?
Yeah. You tell me. Don't you hide secrets from me. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
What do you think? Should we do 2 of these questions since we're an hour deep?
Do you want to?
Yeah, let's do them. We've been gone for a while.
Let's do one.
Why don't we do both? Hey, what do you got to do right now?
I gotta clean my vehicle.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You don't want to go through this? What, you don't have a half an hour? You don't have a half an hour for the people?
I really like this question though, and I really want to like go an hour on it.
You want
the snail mail one?
Do you want to dedicate more time to that one?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Sorry, people.
No.
The intern has spoken.
Let's do this. Let's do the
Do the other one?
The Baltimore
Okay.
Oreos,
yeah. The cookie team.
was I like the only one that ever? I'm sure it wasn't.
No, I think that
I used to call them the Oreos all the time.
Yeah, you probably were the only one that ever did that.
So I've never seen this logo though. I don't think.
You've never seen it? Oh, dude, you are missing out.
I thought they had a bird.
They do. An Oriole.
It's like an orange.
Yeah, it's an orange bird.
It's not like an Oreo.
I mean, it's no. I mean, unless it's like one of those Halloween Oreos, which are delicious.
Okay, I gotta see what this guy's what this person's angry about.
Go to sportslogos.net.
Okay, 1 second.
That has every sports logo imaginable.
Sportslogo.net.
Sportslogos.net.
Yeah, that's what
And then you go to baseball, and then you go to American League, and then right there at the top, Baltimore Orioles. There it is.
Oh, I went to basketball, man.
Why?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, God.
American.
You don't know anything. They got a lot of good logos. That the main one, the bird face, is
You hate it?
one of the greatest things. Like, the world is a little bit better because that bird face logo exists.
But it's not good.
What? What? What is wrong with you? What do you mean it's not good? It's
Like the
perfect.
2019 one?
The bird wearing a baseball hat.
Yeah, but why does it got that white little line?
The white little line really bugs me, actually.
Why isn't that orange?
Yeah, no, that really bugs me.
I think somebody exported that wrong.
Yeah, no, that's in the original too. So the 2019 one is actually like a throwback. But yeah, no, that bugs me. That
Sorry, let
definitely
me
bugs
bring
me.
up this question here. Specifically, the O's version with the backwards apostrophe
Yes.
drives me insane.
Yeah, so if you look down, you could see it's not even backwards. It's like straight up upside down.
Oh, you know what? I bet you don't see that when it's embroidered on things.
Here's the thing. Wait, so hold on. What's the full question?
Not sure if you can discuss, share your opinions on the show without undercutting future opportunities with MLB teams, but I feel like it would also drive you bananas.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is a really great point. So especially with baseball teams, and I think maybe only with baseball teams, because the NFL is like very much
Locks
a
down.
perfectionist type of thing when it comes to their logos and all that kind of stuff. Baseball has an inherent history of whatever, basically. Like that's like their history is like whatever. Because like when shit was made in the 1800s, it was whatever, just get it done. You know, so there's almost like baseball is the only sport that has such traditional design. You know, it's the only one that cares about monograms. It's the only one that has script logos. You know what I mean? Like other sports don't have that. Other sports are all blocky, bold, big, like what you would expect. But baseball, it doesn't. It's like very whimsical, elegant, full of character. And the thing with a lot of these things, like what? Okay, the thing that bothers me about these types of logos is not, and it doesn't bother me to the like. I love it, but if I'm gonna pick something that bothers me about it, it's the fact that it shouldn't be an apostrophe at all because it's not possessive. It's like grammatically incorrect. So like the Orioles and the Athletics, they have the O's and the A's, and they both are like O apostrophe S, A apostrophe S. So like grammatically speaking, it's not right. But, like historically speaking and kind of like aesthetically speaking, it's awesome. And it's like almost like one of those quirks that's wrong, but feels great because it's wrong, and you want to emphasize it. You know what I mean?
It's been going on for too long.
Yeah, and it's just become this thing, and it's just like I don't know. I kind of love it. Like it's just those are the little types of mistakes and issues that have always been a thing and no one's ever fixed. That is essentially right now.
That's weird. It's that is very designy,
right?
Like deep down, for a designer to do something like that, and then for it just to stay.
And how many times, like how many professional graphic designers have had their hands on this logo? If
a lot.
Any other designer had this in any other organization, they would have their head chopped off and be like, "What's wrong with you? Go get a job in a bakery somewhere. Make bread at 3:00 in the morning because this is not for you."
Okay, but that white line on the back of the baseball cap ruins this logo.
It doesn't ruin it.
It ruins it.
But it definitely bugs me. I'll agree.
What is it, a
I'll
cigarette?
agree with that. It's always bothered me. And not only that, but it's embroidered into the hat too. The white line is embroidered. It's not. They don't fix it. They leave it.
It's almost like it'd make more sense if the O apostrophe S was white. If they wanted to add more white, or the button on the top of the hat was white.
I mean, it's not though, because in the hat, there's no white on the hat, and
So
the bird is wearing the hat.
Man, that's inception-y.
It is, but now the bird is on the hat, wearing the hat.
What if you put this hat on a bird?
I think he could play shortstop. There's a good chance he would be really good. Probably bat like 278. Be all right.
Yeah, no, this is bothering me.
It's one of my favorite logos of all time.
I will say that I really like that the brim on the hat is kind of like wobbly
Long and
in a
floppy.
sense. Yeah, like it's not a nice clean. Looks like somebody hand drew it.
Yeah.
In a weird way, like a Sharpie.
Well, because they did.
Well, they took their time, but
they did.
But yeah.
Wait, I mean, like it's just I don't know. This is what's missing from all other sports. You know.
I gotta see other. Do you recommend me taking a look at any other?
Yeah.
Baseball
Oh
teams?
man, let's take a quick trip down sports design lane, but specifically baseball.
Yeah.
So let's go into the American League. Right? Tell me when you're there.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so if you were to, okay, so this one is funny. So click on the Red Sox. I don't like this one, but it's hilarious.
Okay, I'm here.
And then scroll down to the alternate logos and go to 1950 to 1959. And describe what you see.
What years?
1950 to 1959.
Okay. Sorry. Just getting here. Scrolling. Dude, I don't see 1950.
Oh my God, what's the matter with
1969, 1938 to 1968.
What the fuck are you looking at? Scroll down.
Is it to the very bottom?
Yeah, keep scrolling. Go past
Whoa.
Yeah, see?
What is all this? I see baseball cards.
Baseball card? What in the
programs,
shit?
schedules.
Dude, I don't
Boston
even
Red
know.
Sox, MISC logos.
No, you scrolled way too far. It was like the third thing down.
All right.
I don't know. You still can't operate a computer. This is absurd.
Whoa, all right, I'm here. What is this thing?
Okay, can you describe it? Describe what you can see since this is mostly an audio podcast.
All right, this is what I could see.
Yeah.
This is a red sock with a condom stomach. It's a dog's red rocket right there. What is that?
So you don't like that one? Look at the schnoz on that thing, will you?
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is offensive.
Yeah, it is offensive. Dude, it is harsh. Okay, so let's do another one. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, so hover over, go to baseball at the top.
Yeah.
And then go to National League.
Okay.
All right, top right, Cincinnati Reds.
Whoa, dude. Cincinnati Reds. All right, I'm on Cincinnati Reds.
1953 to 1958.
Primary?
Yeah, primary.
1958. 1953 to 1958.
Yeah.
I'm clicking on this thing. My internet's a little slow.
Well, obviously.
Whoa, look at this Italian.
I never thought of that. He looks like he's straight out of a pizzeria. Not even a pizzeria. It's the top of a pizza box.
Whoa. Is that his pizza paddle?
Yeah. What do you think of this guy?
It's awfully racist in a really weird way.
Dude, but okay, so go back and then instead of 1953 to 1958, go to 1968 to 1992. They gentrify him.
And make him not as cool.
No, he's not as cool, and he's just like a regular old white dude playing baseball.
With like a happy, angry face.
Yes.
Like he's playing against a bunch of kids and he's doesn't like them.
He looks like he just stole someone's lunch money.
I don't like the little dimples.
You don't like that?
Well, the one line comes out and then it dimples.
Yeah, it gets a little funky. Definitely gets a little funky.
I like the C and I like the lettering.
Yeah, no, me too. Me too.
The C is really nice.
For sure. All right, I'm going to have to... I hate to do this because generally we're a positive podcast, but all right, ready? Go back to the American League.
Okay.
All right. Right at the top, go to Cleveland, the big red C.
Yeah.
Okay. And then go to 1946. It's pretty much as racist as it gets.
And they're sticking with this, right? Like they refuse to change.
They literally just got rid of it, I think, like within the past year or two. And if you go back and look, they have many versions. There's all sorts of versions.
I guess.
You know what the problem is with this too? Is that these actual illustrations are pretty fun.
Yes.
You know
so that's
what
what I was
mean?
gonna say. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
aesthetically, they're kind of fun.
Like what I hate is the artist was actually really good.
Yeah. It's like they're kind of fun drawings, but like Jesus, like people,
This King of the Hill.
people loved this logo for years and years and years, until someone was finally just like, "Hello, this is like a really racist logo," and then everyone's like, "Oh, right. So should we get rid of this, or like, is it cool for a hat still, or what are we doing?" And everyone's like, "No, you should probably get rid of it." And that's
This is
the end.
all right. Well, you could tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm and I'm not by no means am I like ever strongly opinionated, or gonna hold my opinion on this, right?
Yeah.
I think complaining about things like this
Yeah.
saturates the market of like actual problems happening.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely get it. It's tough because it's one of those things. It's like, do you pick your battles? Like, so this is the thing, right? If you're a Native American and you're looking at this, you're like, oh, come on, man. Like, really? You know, like, can we drop this now? Like, I think we've all grown past this. But then there's other people who pick out things that really aren't a big deal. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like stupid internet shit where people like try to make a big deal out of nothing, and then they try to like make a movement out of it, and then everyone's just like, "Shut up! Like that's not a problem." You know, like there are people with real problems, and those I think those are the people that ruin it for everybody else. When someone's like trying to get something done positively, and then someone else is like, "Well, me too." It's just like, well, not like me too, like not like that, but like,
Whoa.
no, I live in a family. I live in a household full of women. It's not like that. That's not what I meant. But like, but it's just like people who are just like they want attention also.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, but these people have a legitimate beef with this. Like yours is like
you
bullshit.
are oversaturating it, and you're killing legitimate issues.
Like
right? I think this is. I get it. Like let's change it.
I think the Indians logo is like, would you do that today? Hell no. You know what I mean? But the other thing is too is like coming from New York where everyone is different. I like it to that like I would love an Italian version of this. And I would wear it every single day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's scary because it's like I think that me and you are both I think we're both in our opinions probably safe to voice our opinions, but it definitely feels like a topic.
It's a tough topic.
Like, it's scary.
It's.
I know we're not
I wish
wrong.
there wasn't so much negative shit that comes along with these types of conversations because, like I would love if people were more embracing of kind of not like their stereotypes, but like the cultural traits that kind of individualize us to be able to make things like this. You know, like there's like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. You know what I mean? Like that's one that gets by because no one cares about like the Irish in that way. You know, the Irish aren't complaining that it misrepresents them or blah, blah, blah. But like it kind of is at the same time. You know, like it's no different than this or some of the other things in the way that it's like a character and it's exaggerated and it's like, I don't know, it's probably not as bad, but it's the same type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of just sometimes I wish like that stuff didn't exist so we could have more of this, but it wasn't in like it didn't have like the negative connotations that go with it.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess I understand this, but I feel like this is going to like this will be used as fuel for like is this like what I'm doing? Cultural appropriation and things like that, which I think we both hate.
Yeah.
It's it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And that's something that I'd be willing to like
well, no, but you here's the thing. Like there are people who do it right and then there are the people who do it because they're just like like just, I don't know, like doing it because they're idiots.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. But it does seem like there are people doing it right who are criticized.
Yeah. Because, I
right?
mean, there's one thing when you, like, kind of experience different places and different cultures and shit like that, and you work it in to an idea that you have, which I think is a good thing, because that's how we all learn from each other. And it's just like, I can go to a place and learn from people, and then I'm just like, I love these ideas, I want to use them in my work. But the idea is that you're also sharing ideas with them, and that, you know, like in that sense, I think all that stuff is great, in the sense where people are literally just like stealing, you know, like straight up like cultural things in a way that like takes any value out of it. You know, like where it's just straight up like, this is a Halloween costume. You know, like it's not like it has more meaning to it than just a costume. I think that's where the cultural appropriation bullshit like really needs to get cut. You know?
Definitely.
But like when someone uses it for like legitimate kind of like artistic thing with history and experience and knowledge behind it, that's where I'm cool with it. You know, and it doesn't matter if it's like the culture I grew up with or the one you did or my neighbor or whoever. Like if it's done well and it's done, you know, intelligently, then I don't really have a problem with it.
I guess it's exactly kind of what we always talk about, which is like, learn the rules to break the rules.
Right.
So if you learned about it, well, then you're respecting it because you've learned about it. So it doesn't mean you could change it, but know about it.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be like about like racism and shit like that. There's also kind of like the cultural appropriation of like, say, I forget what it was. I think it was like a Levi's thing or something. They took a famous Minor Threat, which is like one of the OG hardcore bands, like a famous Minor Threat cover. I mean, it was Levi. I don't know. I forget if it was Levi's or if it was somebody. But they took it and they put it on a T-shirt and they like changed the wording slightly, so it was like kind of like tongue in cheek. But like most of the world doesn't know what that is. And they were literally just like taking something that has a rich culture to it and used it to just sell a T-shirt. You know, and that's when people get pissed off, where it's just like, you don't understand what this is, and the people who are buying it don't understand what this is, so don't touch it.
And then you have people walking down the street who are wearing like Kiss T-shirts,
right?
Who have never listened to a Kiss song,
right?
Or I mean, they probably listen to a Kiss song, but you get it, like.
But that's like whatever. Like that's not, you're not taking any. That's kind of like someone who just sees something that they like and they're wearing it. But if like that doesn't have like a rich history behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something like being part of an underground scene is like a community. And the community has like visuals and things like that represent them. And you take that from a corporate perspective, you slap it on a T-shirt and you change the name, you know.
It's my number one reason for hating Mark Echo.
What did he do?
Dude, just commercialized fucking graffiti and like bombing, and like he had the game Get Up and stuff. And
True.
I got ruined it.
Yep, I got you.
Because I used to obsess over just watching like European train bombers and things like that.
Yeah.
Which 2019, very different when you say European train bombers.
Yeah, big time.
But
Jesus Christ.
Graffitiing trains.
That's unfortunate.
In Europe.
Yeah. See, dude, man, the world has taken away so much good stuff because people are assholes and they don't know how to have a good thing.
Tragedy happens and we're like, you took it away from us. The people who are suffering through the tragedy.
It's just, but it's not even that. It's like there's so many things that like it's just like shit that people used to enjoy. You can't enjoy anymore. You know, like I went to I was at Yankee Stadium a couple of years ago, and we were walking around like the concourse area where the seats are, and there was a loud bang. Years ago, you would think something fell, but that day when I was there, everyone freaked out and tried to run out of the stadium because they thought it was a fucking bomb.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah,
I do hate that.
Yeah. So that's
fortunate.
That's that's the world. That's the world that we live in.
Yeah, I wish we could have more conversations about these touchy topics.
You can't though, because it's like I think you have. I mean, you should have more conversations about this, but it's tough because there's too many people who need to be part of a conversation in order to have like a well-rounded conversation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we could have a conversation like people listening to us will be like not agree with like most of it, or vice versa. Some people will agree with most of it, but not other parts. You know, like if I was saying like I would love if someone took like an Italian caricature and put on a hat and called it like the New York Greaseballs, I'd be like, that rules. I love that. But like they could be like a whole bunch of Italians like, you can't call it the Greaseballs. Like that's so offensive. Look at the size of the nose on that thing.
Yeah. Dude, see, and you're right. We need more people in this conversation because obviously I side with you. Like I like the idea of
and I'm sure other people in their cultures would also like that. But you can't, like, if there's some like dumbass like idiot college kid walking around with it on there and then it's just like using it in like a mocking way, I'm gonna see that and I'm gonna be like, yo, how about you don't wear that because you have no idea what that's about and like it's not funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think there's always gonna be those people.
Of course there are.
Who are like
going to
ruin
idiots.
Yeah. but and dude, I'm like the wrong person to talk because I'm like a hothead about all these kinds of people.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I wish that I could just like ignore those aspects.
I mean,
and just
yeah. I try to ignore a lot of shit during the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many things I try to ignore during the day because if you go throughout the day and you pinpoint all the moronic behavior that human beings do, you'll never make it.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? You have to just try to enjoy it for what it is, which is hard some days.
Yeah.
Some days it's really hard. Other days it's okay. You can get by and you're just like, oh, this is a nice day. You know? But other days you're just like, I can't. What the fuck set me off the other day? Yesterday. Oh, dude, this is a perfect example. There's a Chelsea Handler documentary on Netflix about like white privilege. And she's like, I want to understand what white privilege is, blah, 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 blah. So the first scene is her. It's just like, I don't know if it was like a college or something, but, you know, there was like a lot of black people there. And she's like, I want to talk about white privilege or whatever. And one of the girls gets up and she's just like, I feel embarrassed to even be here that you are just like making a documentary about this. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, her making a documentary about this, I understand she's like trying to like educate, but it's one of the most ignorant things and like oblivious things you could possibly do. It's just like, hey, I'm like a rich millionaire, you know, from Hollywood, and I'm just going to make this documentary. And it's just like, that completely ignores the whole point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, yeah, dude, it's like some topics, I guess, are meant not to be explored.
But see, you have to be able to educate, but you can't do it in a way where it seems like it is like of entertainment value or of like, it's like a novelty. You know, it's like, it's not a novelty. Like you, when you sit there and you're saying one thing and then other people are actually dealing with the pain and the suffering from just being, and then you're just like, yes, I need to understand this. You're an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's like, I guess it's like some topics can't be like you can't be the person to discuss those things, which is maybe why we shouldn't be discussing.
Right. But
certain topics.
The only way that you can do it is if you can relate it to things that you've gone through. Like for me, I grew up, one of my brothers has Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. So especially like in the 80s and stuff like that, you walk around with a handicapped kid that has like a visible handicap. People will look at you. People will look at him. People try to take advantage of him. People would treat him as a subhuman. And I spent the majority of my childhood fighting those people, like to the point where we actually moved neighborhoods when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
This is actually a really good topic.
Yeah, and it stems from the O's logo. But like as a kid, I grew up, you know, constantly having to defend something that was completely out of our control. And how do you defend something that you have like, he didn't choose to be like that. I didn't choose to have a brother like that. I didn't, like my family didn't choose to have this kid as a way to screw with everybody. Like, oh, he's different. You know what I mean? But that's just how it is. And you know what? Like, he's a regular person just like everybody else is. And that's just like a fight that you always. It's like if someone is just like, oh, well, I get it. I'm like, no, you don't get it. Because you don't understand what comes along with it. You don't understand the shit that you have to deal with. You don't understand how people treat you. You don't even understand what like a simple like stare in one direction does to somebody in that position,
Yes. And this is a really interesting topic because it's like, so once again, it has to come down to you have to understand something, I think.
Right.
So if somebody was to make a joke about a handicap,
right,
it can be funny, but if you're going to direct it at a person, at a specific person, then it's not funny anymore because it's totally void of the actual situation.
When people make jokes like that, like whether it's like handicap jokes and dropping like the R word like left and right, or just like racist jokes or religious jokes or whatever, when you make a broad joke, it's very much in the sense that you're not expecting anyone to actually feel anything from it. But if there is one person, even one person from that particular community there to hear that joke, that shit cuts deep. You know what I mean? Like like for me, like if someone made a joke about like a handicapped person like drooling or something, like some stupid shit, like everyone else would be like, it's funny, like how people are like, can be like that. But I'm sitting there, I'm just like, yeah, but you don't, like, that's not funny because that's like, like no one wants to be like that. No. And I'm not saying that people who are like different races don't want to be that race. I'm saying no one wants to be
the subject of the joke.
Yeah, no one wants to be like ridiculed for something that they just are, and not everyone is like we live in a fucking rainbow. It's a spectrum,
So that's the importance, though. Is everything off topic in that sense?
Because, no, I don't think everything's off topic either. But you can do things in a more intelligent way. Like there's ways that you can make jokes about things that are observations that aren't ignorant and mean.
Well, I think because me and you both appreciate jokes that, like that God joke.
Yeah,
it's not making fun of the Holocaust. It's not making fun of God. It's funnier when it's laughing at the absurdity,
right,
of the situation. Like why the fuck does your brother have Down syndrome?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like why does he have to experience?
Right, like why him? Like
so a joke that would acknowledge like how fucked up. I think we're on the same topic.
It's like one of those things. It's like you have to almost like laugh at yourself.
Yes.
Like when something happened to you, like you kind of like laugh at yourself. Like when something bad is, and I'm not saying any of this stuff is bad, but it's just like one of those things where it's like you understand what it means to be in the situation that someone thinks is a joke, and it's not a joke. So whether you are a handicapped person where people are making fun of you for not being whatever, or if you're like a person that's just different than anyone, and someone's making fun of your particular type of person, and you just like, you don't know what I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, that's not funny. It's just not funny. Like, okay, we're all different. Like, I get it. We all get it. Like, we're looking at each other now, like, you're different than me, I'm different than you, we're all different. Even me and my kids, we all look different. Like, everything's different about us. They're girls, I'm not a girl. Like differences happen all the time. Look at the leaves when they fall off the tree. They're all different colors. Like how many people are making jokes about the orange leaves instead of the yellow leaves? You know what I mean? Like, it's not fucking funny. They're leaves.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard some funny jokes about that.
I know you have.
But
Canada, man.
But I agree. It's like, it's funny when it has to encompass and understand the situation to be funny, because it has to be more than a joke, right? It's a perspective.
Yeah. You can't make, like, that's like, I don't know. It's definitely like it's a much bigger conversation, but really what it comes down to is that, like, all this shit is the same, and all of it is different. You know,
Yeah.
that it's the same in that it's all different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so none of that shit should really be divisive. But people take things and they run with them, and they use them for evil instead of for good, and you end up where we're at now.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Because I would agree. Like, I remember when I was in high school, like that whole kick a ginger day.
Yeah.
That's not, to me, I was like, this isn't fucking funny.
Yeah, it's like,
but
please
I
don't
started
kick
questioning,
me.
like, well, what is funny? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, this isn't funny. Just like you know.
If you said that to your brother, right? Does
Yeah.
your brother have red hair?
No.
Okay, if your brother said that to you,
Yeah.
right? And you'd be like, cut it out. And then he kicked you. You'd be like, hey, cut it out, asshole. You know, like, it's kind of funny because you know that he doesn't mean anything by it.
Yeah.
You
When
know,
you have strangers coming up to you.
Right. But but that is also decades of history until he can do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If someone's just like, hey, fuck you, redhead, and then kicks you, that's like, yo, what are you doing?
That's fighting. Yeah.
You know, like that's...
Also, it's not intelligent or acknowledging the difference.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just really dumb.
It's just targeting somebody different.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we agree. We've had this conversation a lot.
Sure.
I know that we agree.
It's hard not to have this conversation though, because it's constantly in your face.
Definitely.
You know, and it doesn't matter. Like man, like even baseball logos, you see this shit pop up. You know, there's the Washington Redskins football team.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, how about you change the name? And they're like, nah, it's fine. Like, I don't know, man. It's really not.
Here's the thing. They could do that, say no.
Yeah.
Or they could just be like, okay.
Yeah, right?
But then it is going to get oversaturated where it's like, is somebody going to be offended by the next name that they pick?
The only reason that there's... The only thing
the
that
potato
sucks from
fucking
it is when it starts to get to the point where, like how we were saying earlier, like when it gets to the people who don't have a reason to bitch about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, you need to change that because it's offensive to me. And they don't have a legitimate reason to do that. You know what I mean? That's when it goes too far.
As humans, we need struggle. So when you don't have struggle in your life, you're looking for like as a human,
people want attention.
I think that as well, but I also think that as a human, you're constantly looking to correct things, right? Like, because that's survival. Surviving is correcting.
Right.
So it's like, finally, when you reach a point where all your bills are paid, like your needs are met.
Sure. What else is there?
Yeah, realistically,
complain.
the last thing is attention.
Just gotta complain,
and like I gotta
for your complaining.
Yeah, and like what am I facing?
Yeah.
What am I surviving against?
I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know. But so what you would say in that situation is that people in like the Western world have it too good, so that they just complain. But there's still a lot of people that don't, and they're complaining to make their lives better. But then those people are running side by side with people who have nothing to worry about, and they're complaining about shit just because they feel left out because they haven't gotten a chance to complain about anything.
As much as me and...
It's very childish if you think about it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like you have like one small group of people who are just like, hey, we're sick and tired of you guys being fucked up towards us. Can you stop? And then the other people are like, will you stop? Like, you know, like that's just the response.
Here's a perfect example. Me and you bitch and complain about literally every aspect of every day of our lives.
Right.
When was the last time you wrote a negative review about something that you bought?
Never.
And ripped.
Exactly. No, wait.
Well, maybe.
I did one time. One time.
And was it pretty legitimate?
It was legitimate. It was at a bagel store. They sucked. And I was sick and tired of their bullshit.
Yeah, well, oh my goodness. Are you Bagel Boss?
I am. It's me. It was me the whole time.
Holy shit.
He wasn't upset about the bagels. He was upset about people saying he was short. I was upset about the actual bagels. Much different.
And you wrote a
I wrote a Yelp review. And then people I knew found it. They were like, "Did you write this?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I wrote that."
So, but when was the last time that you felt like slighted besides that? Because I mean, I order things and I'm like, hey, this wasn't what I thought I was fucking
I
getting.
mean, I feel slighted at least once a day,
Yeah.
just from people being idiots. But there's enough positive in my life where I can let that shit slide. And there's I've had my fight already, and
Hmm.
luckily, not that it's better, not that it's best, but it's better than it used to be. Like I feel like I walk around with my brother these days. I don't see people staring as much as they used to. I don't see people doing nasty shit to him the way that they
Hmm.
used to and stuff like that. So there's part of that fight that feels like we got somewhere. And I
Yeah.
think people just kind of understood a little bit better. I don't know. There's so many different types of people out there that feel so segregated by like the
Yeah.
majority of the culture or whatever, that they're trying to do the same thing. And will it ever get to that point where everyone's even? Probably not.
I don't think it can, right?
I don't think so. Unless I don't know, man. I don't know what it takes. Like, it's always like that alien scenario. Like, if aliens came down and attacked Earth, would everyone forget about who was this and who was that and who didn't like this and who didn't believe this was the right way to be and blah blah blah? Or would they just be like, shit, it's humans versus the aliens. We all need to stick together.
Dude, I kind of think like
Because
I
I
always
feel like
joke
maybe
about
not.
this. I, I mean, I joke about this, and this is probably way too touchy of a joke, but like, you know what? I can't say it. It's too edgy.
I don't even want to know what it is. That's why you're the
It's too
intern.
edgy.
That's why you're Brent the intern, not Brent the employee.
I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you off the air, and next podcast we could bring it up.
Okay,
If it's
I probably
worth
won't.
it.
This is the deepest I think we're ever gonna get when it comes to like cultural issues, because it's too touchy.
Yeah,
It's too
it is.
touchy.
It is.
There's too many variables, and there's too many people who take things the wrong way, and there's too many people who I think are just like looking for a fight.
Yeah, looking to be offended. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I feel like it's easier for me as a New Yorker because everyone around me is all different.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's like every type of person is in New York. So to me, like, I'm just like excited to be around different people with different ideas. And, I love being able to like share all that shit, whatever. There's stuff I like, stuff I don't like.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And no one's mad about it, which I really like. And I know that there are people who are not from, coastal cities or whatever that don't have that same type of thing or whatever. And they don't understand some of that shit. But I feel lucky to be able to be in a place where there's all different types of people. And I can just be like, I appreciate all of it. I love walking down the street and seeing 1,000 different types of people in 1,000 different languages doing 1,000 different things and 1,000 different types of interests and shit. Like, I like that. And you can go in, you can pick and choose what you like, and what you don't like, you don't go into. You don't make fun of it, and you don't destroy it. You just say, it's not for me. And you just keep going.
Yeah,
And
like
you go to the next
it's
one.
okay for you not to be into something.
I mean, I think sometimes it takes a while to understand that, but hopefully, like, as generations go on, they learn more and more. 'Cause, like, I see, my daughter is just like, she's cool with whatever, like, doesn't matter, like, even she's a smart kid too. And even with my brother, it doesn't, like, she just hangs with him and she doesn't make mention that he's different or anything like that. And we try to make it so that she understands it's just people are people, and there's no difference. It doesn't matter. Like, if they're nice to you, you be nice to them, and if they're not nice to you, then you avoid them. And I think that's all it really comes down to.
Yeah, that's how I was raised as
Yeah.
well. I do know that my mom did mention that all of like my brothers and sisters and stuff kind of didn't notice anybody else that was different.
Yeah.
And I was never rude about it, but I would stare at people that were different.
Oh,
I just noticed.
you're
that's
that
all.
asshole that I'm talking about.
Dude, I kind of. Well, not as I got older, but as like really little, like 3, 4.
Yeah.
Like
3, 4, 19, 22.
like bigger people, littler people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I never said anything, but I remember always just being like intrigued.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like it was never a negative thing for me.
Right.
I was intrigued.
Yeah. I mean, little kid. It's so funny because you definitely at this age, there are definitely kids in my daughter's school that will say stuff, and you're just like, oh, I know what your parents are like.
Yeah.
And we are not going to be friends.
Yeah. Dude, it's scary to think about. Think about all the little psychos that she's grown up with.
Yes. Even like the little boys that like try to like hit the girls. I'm like, what is it like in your house?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what kind of piece of shit father do you have? It's yeah. Because there was one time some little kid like tried to strangle my daughter, and I'm like, yo, where do you learn this from? You know, like you don't just get that. And I told she came home, she told me, and I was like, stand up for yourself, man. Fuck that kid. And she went in, she punched him in the face.
which is cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, I'm proud. I said, I told her, I was like, if you're standing up for yourself, you might get in trouble at school, but you come home, you tell me, you'll never be in trouble, and then I'll go in and I'll yell at the teacher for you.
Beat the teacher up.
I'll beat the teacher up. That's right. But it's it's really funny to watch the ones where their parents have issues develop.
Yeah.
You know, it's scary.
Yeah, like, it's kind of sad. Like how much is like obviously some of those kids are going to make it out okay.
Yeah.
Despite having not so great.
Well, if you look at like some shitty teenagers all the way to like serial killers and mass murderers.
Yeah.
Every single one of those people were just like an innocent little cuckoo, like gaga baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At some point, they were all just like, oh, look how cute. Every single one of them. Someone said, look how cute to every single one of those maniacs. Because it's like there's just like we all kind of start off in the same place. And then it's like what happens in your environment that turns you into what you are.
Nature, nurture kind of.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to that.
Yeah.
You know?
And dude, I feel bad because this, like we've gone down now a rabbit hole of things that we shouldn't touch.
Yeah.
Things that I'm like, like I know we're not controversial by any means.
I don't think so.
In our opinions.
I don't think so.
But
I mean,
like
I just want to love everybody. I just want to accept, like I'm happy with everybody.
See, I don't. And I like the fact that you don't have to.
No, you don't have to, but that doesn't mean that people can't be who they are, right?
Yes, yeah. I don't mean openly hate them, but
I don't want everyone coming to my house like, no.
Hugging you?
No, just everyone don't touch me. But like everyone just be yourselves and live your life. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I got no problem with any of it. I'm very happy for everyone to be different and everyone.
Unless you're a serial killer.
Unless you're a serial killer, like my intern.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is exactly the reason why we do this remotely. People always ask, John, why don't you guys do it in the same room? Now you know.
I'm not allowed to know where John lives. He's given me some ideas.
Somewhere in the eastern region of the United
north
States.
Of the Bronx.
Yeah. Good luck finding me.
In a schoolhouse.
Oh man. This one started out. It started out okay, and then it got really intense there.
Kind of dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you don't podcast for like a couple months.
I mean, you were busy.
So were you.
You were busier, I think.
Was I? I don't think so.
Yeah. In the beginning.
I think you were busier.
I've been busier just.
How many times did we try to do this in the last week and you were busy?
No. How many times did we try to do this in the last week and you were busy, or we started recording?
That was.
And you had to. And then you're like, I'll be back in a half an hour.
I had to go help my wife with something.
I know, but it was an hour later.
It was not. It was like 20 minutes. I came back. You're like, I gotta go. I can't. Like, with your dumbass excuses that trailed off at the end. You go. Brent's like, I gotta go pick up my girlfriend. I'm like, tell her to get the other car. He's like, we only use one car, even though we have two. What a bullshit excuse that is.
Well, we've been driving one vehicle for a while, for a month.
Why?
I don't know.
Running out?
No, she lives, we live really close to where we both work.
Yeah.
So, and we both work similar hours. So it's like.
But you don't podcast similar hours.
That's right. That's true.
God damn it.
But I think 2 days you were busy, 2 days I was busy.
All right. We'll call it a draw.
I think people can expect this more often, though.
Yeah, I think we said that last time and the time before that, too.
Yeah. We could definitely record tomorrow.
All right, we'll record again soon. We promise this time. Hey, you know what? Tell us what you think. Go rate and review us on iTunes. If you thought this podcast was horrible and that we were overstepping our bounds, you could let us know. It's all right. But in the meantime, just give us 5 stars anyway. You could tell us like, hey, you guys shouldn't be talking about shit like that. But 5 stars.
We only read the 5-star reviews. So even if you want to write something negative, just leave 5 stars.
Now, this was also, we recorded this video and it's going to go up on YouTube also, but it wasn't live this time because we felt like we needed to just go. Good thing we did too, because we really went into a nice place.
Went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, we went to, imagine if there were comments going on during that conversation.
I do like live for that reason, but also I do kind of get lost.
Yeah.
In just reading.
I think we'll do them sometimes live, sometimes not live when we, when we just want to like go crazy or whatever. But sensitive topics, sometimes I think it's maybe easier to just keep it tight.
Yeah.
And then discuss it. And then if people want to write in and like talk about it or kind of like share their stories or whatever, like I'm open to that too. Like if people have like stories or whatever, like could be interesting, talk about some of those things and kind of how they relate to, our world. But that's not something we normally do. I don't know. We ended up there because we're talking about vampires and baseball.
Dude, we went way political.
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna have to change the tags on the podcast sorting. Politics and culture instead of nonsense and graphic design.
Nose Nork Times.
What if this just became like a straight up like really like heavy like politics focused podcast?
Like just really horrible as well, like
really dry and like dead sounding.
No. I'm thinking
no
like
personality.
No, too much personality. Alex Jones.
You fucking tinfoil hat on. You know how I know the world is flat? If I put a pencil down, it doesn't roll away.
The thing is we were going to release more podcasts, but the government's been trying to stop us.
Oh my God. All right. Instead of that, go buy Brand by Hand because that's available everywhere. CantinoBook.com, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, whatever. Cantino Workshop, there's a new class coming out soon for starting your own creative business. I'll be posting about that soon. We're going to be filming that soon. That's like a few years in the works now. I've been working on that since the custom lettering one came out, trying to like distill it down to like the essentials, but also getting pretty detailed. And then, check us out at Cantino Studio on Instagram, or me at John Cantino, or Brent at Mystery Host Instagram account. And then if you have questions or comments, or you hate what we talked about, you can let us know at nosecast.com. And then, I don't know, what do you think? You got anything else to say? You got any parting words after what we just went through?
Nah.
That's good. All right, later.
Stay up! A frozen break that paralyze the truth. Melted till the soul starts leaking through.